Imagine waking up on a train and realising you made 5k whilst you were asleep.
Bricks and mortar are the bread and butter of British wealth, so investment properties are in high demand. But most are owned by the over 60s.
This will rent for £500 per month.
And a new generation is desperate to join the game.
I took on 10 properties in 10 months.
Ezekiel currently rents 23 properties which he sublets at a markup on platforms like Airbnb or to housing providers. This is known as rent to rent and is popular with investors without the capital to buy. But rather than add to the housing supply, speculators who rent to rent increase the demand and with it the price. Some say that rent to rent is an extremely harmful model as well as obviously less sustainable.
The way I look at it, the amount of families that I've accommodated, you know, I've helped a lot of families in multiple different situations. As I said, some of my properties I work with social housing companies.
But with rent to rent, what you're doing is you are adding greater inflation into the market because that property would still be there whether you were there or not.
I wouldn't say that. Yes, the properties would have been there. It probably would have been one family living there, but I've accommodated multiple families. So yes, the property would be there, but how many families would have been accommodated? And so I've technically solved that problem.
The profits made from rent to rent has helped give Ezekiel the capital to buy this house.
I used to work in a primary school full time. Used to work with kids with special needs. I was taking home around £1,500 a month. And for somebody who obviously had big aspirations, that's nowhere near enough.
Clinton and his business partner Ezekiel plan to cut this home in Yorkshire into a house of multiple occupancy, known as a HMO, that lets to numerous renters.
You can rent an individual house and rent it to a family and make £300-400. We're doing this as a HMO and we'll make triple that amount of profit.
So you're from East London, and
Yes.
we're in Huddersfield. You're a long way from home right now.
Yeah. You know, when we were looking at London, for a one-bed house, one-bed flat, you're looking at about £300,000. So for us, we thought we'd come up north. The price of this four-bedroom house was actually £137,000. So for us, it made more sense.
Ezekiel and Clinton are small speculators in a big pond. The buy-to-let boom started in the 90s with changes to tax and tenancy laws. This rose as interest rates in the 2010s fell on new buy-to-let mortgages. But recent reforms and rate rises have increased barriers for new players. Although it is not small investors who are the big losers of an economy reliant on renters.